This coin might be about to get fined $2 billion, but I still think it could 5x your money. Let's figure out why. If you've not been following the news, XRP or Ripple is a coin that's been chased by the SEC in America for around about 4 years now. There's been an ongoing case where basically the regulator has tried to declare Ripple is a security. The guys that own this, or the guys behind it, particularly Brad Garlinghouse and his legal officer Stuart Alderotti, have been in the news again recently because the SEC have come forward to say they're willing to end this case, but they want a $2 billion fine. Remains to be seen exactly how that plays out. Most likely that fine will be reduced. But what does this mean for you? Why should you care? Well, if you've not been following Ripple, basically this court case has meant that there's been no major price movements on Ripple for give or take 5 or 6 years. Before that, there was an absolutely monstrous move on the charts. And from a technical perspective, it looks like Ripple is now due another massive breakout. So when the charts tell you that a breakout is due, it's usually a good idea to then look at the news and look at the narratives that are being spun, because in my experience, it's actually the news that kind of follows on from what the charts are going to do anyway. So when you've got a match there and you've got a chart that says, hey, I've been going sideways for 5 years, and now the news is saying, it's getting closer and closer to a point where Ripple might be finally left alone by the regulators, there is a good chance that that's going to catalyze or be used as the reasoning for a very large price increase on this coin. So this is another piece of news that's sort of interesting here, is that the Ripple leaders are forecasting the SEC will be defeated in their attempts to also declare Ethereum as a security. And if you remember my recent videos, I've been talking about reasons why I think Ethereum is about to go on a big run and potentially outperform Bitcoin. And as you can see, if you've understood what I've been saying in the previous videos, this type of a headline, what I've just said about charts following or leading the news, what do you think might happen here if Ethereum is also declared not a security? Is it then likely to outpace Bitcoin and go on a run of its own, just like I'm talking about with Ripple? I think the answer there is quite likely yes. So this is the Ripple chart. For those of you who've never looked, this is XRP versus USD. I believe this coin started somewhere back in 2014, and there was one big move, and then ever since then, it's basically gone sideways in one huge range here. We could do it like this if you like. You could say there was a bit of a bump here, right? From a technical perspective, if we're in a big bull run or we're expecting a massive run up, from somewhere in this region, it's not unlikely that XRP will go ahead and try and break over both of these previous highs, which effectively means that from this current price level, moving back up to the last major high is an almost 500% move. That means for every $10,000 you're going to put into this coin, you're going to get $50,000 put back in your pocket. So that's a pretty spicy setup, let's put it that way. That's a pretty interesting situation that you might want to be taking a look at. Obviously, we can't give you financial advice, and I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I can tell you that this is a coin I'm paying a lot of attention to at the moment. And I believe that on the smaller time frames, in the kind of local price action areas, there probably is an interesting setup or an interesting area to buy either right now, pretty much right now in this area around this 0.63 region, or if there is one more sell-off across the market, potentially a drop back down towards these levels around 0.5 to 0.55 is possible. But regardless of that, if you're willing to hold on to this coin, whether you get in at 0.63 or 0.53, if you're willing to hold through the crazy shenanigans and wait for this to reach all the way up to kind of, I don't know, $4 or $5, whatever it can achieve, then you're going to be sitting on a big pot of treasure. So as ever though with crypto, only trade with money you can afford to lose. Always do your own research and decide what you think about this coin. But I wanted to highlight this to everyone out there that might not have been aware of the whole Ripple saga. That's basically anyone that's more new to crypto. You might not have come across this one. But as I said, Generally speaking, when a coin goes sideways for this amount of time, it is inevitable that you get a monstrous move at some point, either up or down. But given that we're in a bull market, it's way more likely that that move is going to be to the upside. And that's why I wanted to just share this news with you so that you understand that the narratives are coming, that SEC is going to go down. Gary Gensler is the bad guy now. And this is something I've been talking to people in my trading community about, explaining that more than a year or two ago, that I believe Gensler will eventually be kicked out and everyone will celebrate as all cryptos are declared not a security and the party will begin. And that's exactly where we're kind of at now, whilst we're at the beginning of what looks to be a rather monstrous altcoin season up and coming. And Bitcoin and Ethereum as well are not done yet. All right, that's it from me. I'll see you in the next episode for more Money and Mirth. Bye-bye now.